I'm Rennie Roca, and with me today is our BMX expert, Dean Bradley, and we're going to see some exciting racing.
That's right, Rennie. Not only are we going to see some of the top amateurs from around the world, we're going to take a look into the wild and woolly world of freestyle BMX. And speaking of wild and woolly, I saw you running through the airport to try to get here in time, and I know, Jay Simpson, you are not, so we have a little present for you here today, Rennie. We have a folding bike, which we're going to unfold during the show.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
I know I shouldn't have, but I did.
Okay, Dean, here we go, and we're about to start it off with the 13-14 cruiser class. And Dean, I don't know who's going to do it, but I think we're going to have a good race today. What do you think?
Well, we're going to have a great race. Now, this is the first race that we've seen thus far on the larger 24-inch wheeled, what they're calling a cruiser. Okay, now the cruiser is not only a larger wheel size, they have a little longer wheelbase and a little bit heavier weight, so they accommodate a larger rider a little more comfortably.
Sounds like my kind of bike.
It is your kind of bike. It fits real well.
Here they go, and they're down the line, and we got a guy in a plaid shirt. Oh, look at that!
That's Sean Callahan out in front. Now, Callahan is a great cruiser rider. He's good on his 20-inch, but I think he's even better on his 24.
Seems like he's painted to that bike. That man is moving.
Yeah, he's very, very smooth, and he's followed by Mike Allen. Now, let's see if Allen can close that gap. It doesn't look like it, but...
I don't think so. I don't think so, Dean. He's got it. He has got it. He is smooth as can be.
So that's Callahan, followed by Mike Allen.
And you know what? Next coming up is going to be our 15 and over girls class. You know, these girls are amazing the way they race, and I happen to have a friend in this race. One of them is Debbie Calso, who's just been winning everything. This girl is unbelievable. So I'm taking my bets now, Dean. This is who I'm going to bet on.
Well, Rennie, I'll tell you, if there's anybody that can beat Debbie Calso, and it's pretty slim, it's going to be Sue Ginrich. Now, Sue is number 54. Now, she's got an inside gate position, but again, Kelso is extremely tough to beat. She's got that number 1 on her plate, and that speaks for itself. She's in the center of the gate, so she's got a good gate position, but if anybody can muscle her way inside in that first corner, it's going to be Ginrich. She's a big girl. She's very strong and very competitive. Let's keep an eye on them when this gate drops.
I don't know if that's fair. I forgot that she was in this race, because she is strong.
Yeah, she is. She's physically larger than the rest of the girls, and she's, to be honest, she's a little bit intimidating, and I think that's going to show in this first corner. Again, keep an eye on Ginrich, and she is a yellow jersey in that number 2 gate position.
Okay, well, I'm still getting on Debbie. Here they go now. They're all set. They're up on their pedals, and that 2-pedal start, which you're going to have to tell us about a little later on in the show. Okay.
That's right. You can see the riders, they're balancing on 2 pedals. They don't have a foot down, and they just balance there on the gate, and they get a good snap when that gate drops. Now,
okay, there they go. Look at it. You're right. Ginrich and Calso.
Right. Watch Ginrich on the inside here. No, it just looks like Calso has a little bit better start, and she's away from that first corner and got a couple bike length lead on Ginrich.
Watch out, Dean. Pretty soon I'll be the BMX expert if I keep picking them.
That's right, Reddy. You know how to pick a winner, and Kelso is doing just exactly that. She's riding very in control of this race, and she's very smooth over this last jump. No problems. Ginrich is not going to catch her. A great ride for Kelso.
Let's take a look at that again, because they really came out of that gate pretty smooth. And I thought for sure that Ginrich was going to get her. There she is, Debbie Calso. And that little girl there, Hot Shot, she's from England. She came a long way to race here. Okay.
Okay, now let's watch the start. Ginrich on the inside. She's very strong. You can see she just muscles out in front of that other rider. But Calso gets a great start, goes out in front of the pack. She doesn't have any problems, doesn't tangle with anybody. And she's a lighter weight, and she's just a little bit quicker sprinter than Ginrich.
She seemed to come out of that track good, but how is she going to do on this track?
Okay, now watch this. She goes into the first berm, which is a banked turn, and it's a little bit rough in there, and you can see Ginrich will kind of bobble through there. It's a difficult turn, and at the tail end of that, they go over a jump. That brings them into that second straightaway, and as they come along the second straightaway, they go into that difficult step jump, which is the first jump that will catapult you over the second higher hump, okay?
And then after that is those whoop-de-doos. Is that tough for the girls?
Well, absolutely, but you can see them coming over that step jump there. It's a very difficult jump.
She cleared the whole jump.
She sure did, and you'll find most of the people that are winning their classes, they have to double jump that. Now, you can see those 2 jumps right in the middle of the berm. That's an extremely tricky section. You're just having a hard time going through the turn, and they throw those 2 jumps at you. And watch, this is the most difficult section.
Okay, here's those whoop-de-doos.
Right.
Look at that, look at that. And the one I picked, Debbie Calso, she just rolled over those things.
Yeah, she is very smooth, and that's a difficult section. She makes it look, oh, so easy now. And then you come over that last jump, and down the finish straight, and you can see it's a little bit smoother there in the last part of the track, and the riders need it at that point. They're very tired, and it's a grueling track. It's a little bit over a minute, and you can see Kelso's tired, but she keeps going strong all the way to that finish line.
Fantastic. Okay, here we go with the next stanza, the 15-16 Cruiser. And Dean, you tell me this is a hot race, huh?
This is a great race. Now keep an eye on the two riders in the middle of the gate. Number 1B, Billy Griggs, has been going extremely well all day. Next to him, number 2, Glenn Hammond. I think we're going to see the best battle of the day between those two riders. Possibly Darwin Griffin will come in there and give him a bit of trouble. But again, I think Billy Griggs has got to be my favorite in this race.
We just had a great shot of what the track looked like for the riders. But here they come down the line. Look at these guys go. Isn't that Darwin in front?
Yeah, that is Darwin Griffin. And again, you can see that Griggs might throw a pass on him.
Okay.
Griggs could come from behind at any time. Now, he may very well do this in this last corner. Keep an eye on Billy Griggs in the second position.
Darwin looks like he's not going to give it up, though. He looks like he doesn't want to give... Uh-oh, I think it's coming to us now. Oh, what a move!
There goes Billy on the inside.
Oh, my goodness, look at that. And Billy, oh, what a move!
Great move by Billy Griggs, and then we haven't seen any riders pass down that last straightaway, and you can see Griggs saved his best for that last straight, and he powered right past Griffin.
Look at that.
Okay, now watch. Griffin drifts out a little bit wide in that corner. Griggs sees daylight, and he doesn't wait for a personal invitation. He takes it, and he gets him over that last jump, powers past him all the way to the line.
I didn't believe you when you said it. I couldn't believe he was going to do something like that.
Great move. Griffin should have known better than to give Griggs the inside line.
Fantastic. He reminds me of some of the acrobatics of the freestyle riders that we're going to see pretty soon. And boy, that's exciting.
That is extremely exciting.
That really turned me on. Okay, up on the line now, Dean, is our 9 and 10 open class, and this is a little bit slower, but yet and still it has a lot of excitement in it.
It sure does. These kids are amazingly talented for such a young age, and you can see that there's a couple number 1s up there. One is Jason Donnell, and another is Mike Luna. Now, these kids have been racing extensively over the last couple years, and they've worked extremely hard to get those number 1 plates. Now, I think the battle is really going to be between those two riders, so let's keep an eye on those two riders.
You know, what's amazing is to watch the clothing that these kids wear. They're so sharp. I mean, they're brightly lit. They just light up a racetrack when they come down the track. I know their parents are proud of them. You can tell by the way they dress them. And when this race is over, we're going to look at something really special from our stylist himself, Dean Bradley. But they're ready to go now, so we're ready too. Okay, they're on their pedals. Now, these kids don't all do the 2-pedal spot.
No, it's difficult when you're a real young rider to keep that balance.
Okay, look at number 1. There's our number 1 rider. He's with the C-Duck.
Okay, now you see Jason Donnell came over that first jump. He lost his pedals, and he's sitting on the top tube. That's the race for Donnell. What's got to be a heartbreak. He's a very talented rider, and he had a great start there. He had the whole shot, but he slipped those pedals, and that is a critical mistake, and he went from first to last in a blink of an eye.
And look at that. We were talking about style and clothing. Our first-place rider got on jeans, the only one in the crowd, so he's got to be making fun of everybody out there. From right bicycle, look at that kid go.
3:06, that is Timmy White. Now, Timmy has to be extremely happy with that ride. What a ride. And again, a heartbreaker for Jason Donnell.
Okay, we're going to see a replay of what happened to him because I couldn't believe that. I mean, he came out of there like a
Okay, now watch Donnell. Donnell is on the second gate position. He gets a great start. Now, as they're coming down there onto the flat, they're applying maximum pressure to those pedals, and watch when he comes over this jump. His foot will slip off, and he ends up sitting on that top tube. Now, that's why they have the safety pads. The safety pads are extremely important. Now, watch right there. His foot comes off, sits on the top tube, comes down on that jump. That had to hurt, but with those safety pads, it really reduces the risk of injury.
This is one of the safest sports going, and that's the reason why. It's also one of the sharpest, so let's
take a look at some of the safety clothes that the kids wear to reduce that risk of injury.
Exactly, and you did this earlier. Let's take a look at it now.
As you might well imagine, freestyle is a rough-and-tumble action sport. So here with us today is Bob Morales, president of the American Freestyle Association, with rider Scott Freeman to show us a typical freestyler's dress.
Well, Dean, we're going to go from head to toe here. Starting off with the helmet, very important part of the rider's gear. Next off would be his goggles, protects his eyes, a long-sleeve jersey with good, adequate elbow protection, some good racing gloves, which definitely protects his hands, racing pants, long, with knee pads, and his ankle guards, very important part, and a good rubber-soled BMX racing tennis shoe, which keeps him from slipping off the pedals.
Okay, up now is our 11-12 open class, and we are just about set to go. This is an interesting race. Dean, tell us about it.
Well, the 11 and 12 Open is pitting 11 experts against the 12 experts. Now, the 12-year-olds don't necessarily have an advantage over those 11 years old, and that's what makes this such a great competitive class. Now, I've got a couple favorites in here. On the far outside of the gate is Aaron Sally in that bright yellow, red, and black uniform, and on the inside of the gate is number 65, J.D. Finney, but probably my favorite rider here, due to his great name, is number 1 in the center of that gate, Bummer McMonagle. What a name.
What a name.
Okay.
Bummer.
But don't discount Derek Garcia, number 190. He's right there beside J.D. Finney. This is going to be an outstanding race, one of the most competitive of the day.
I'm picking 190. I'm picking Derek Garcia. I remember that name.
Right, Garcia is an incredibly stylish rider for so young.
Here he comes. Look at him. Oh, I think my man's going to get it.
Okay, now that's Aaron Sally on the outside. Now Garcia falls in behind him. Now, Garcia is a smaller rider than Sally, so he's at a bit of a power disadvantage. But watch him. He's a very smooth and stylish rider.
He knows how to swoop. I remember that.
Well, it's going to be tough to beat Sally. Sally's going through those quads very smoothly.
He's a lot bigger and a lot stronger than
Derek. He sure is. Now, again, Garcia is an 11-year-old. Sally is the 12-year-old, so he does have a bit of an advantage. But as you can see, Garcia holds his second place all the way to the finish. A great ride by both Aaron Sally and Derek Garcia.
Well, that was a good race. And upcoming now is their counterparts in the female sector, 11-12 girls. Now, this is a little bit different because they don't do it the same. Why don't you give us who's in the race and tell us your favorite?
Well, number 58 is Melissa Vogel, number 72, Melanie Green, and then number 2, Tiffany Kellner, number 1, Chriselle Gill, that's got to be my favorite, number 1B, Shannon Bailey, and finally, number 99, Patricia Kennedy. So, again, keep an eye on number 1, Chriselle Gill. That number 1 plate speaks for itself. Now, you can see there's 2 number 1 plates. There's a 1 and a 1B. Now, that means that they have won their respective age groups in a certain region within the country. So, they're both champions in their own right, but we'll see who's the real champion today here at the World Championships in this 11 and 12 girls class.
This is the World Championship, and that's amazing because, you know, these kids come from all over the world to race, and let's see how our 2 number 1s do today. I think they're ready to go. These girls are all doing the 2-pedal starts, though, with the exception of the one little girl on the end, and now she's up.
Watch that center of the gate. We got the 2 number 1s. They're going to face off.
Side by side, and that's the way they come down the hill, side by side. But, Dean, look at that.
Number 58, Melissa Vogel. She jumps out in front, and she is a larger rider, you can see, than most of the pack, so she has got quite a strength advantage. And, boy, is she using it to her advantage here.
She sure powered over that jump.
Okay, now let's watch Melissa through these quads. We could have a pass coming up. You never know.
You called it again. I think you called it again, Dean, because she is coming up sharp.
Okay, now watch Gill on the inside. She just doesn't have the power, but maybe at the line. No, Melissa keeps the power on all the way to the finish and just beats out.
Okay, we're going to take a look and see what happened there with Melissa and see why she powered past the young lady. They're bringing it up.
Okay, earlier we saw Billy Griggs swoop inside there to pass, but it's a real difficult move, and I think that Melissa wasn't quite tired, and she kept the power on all the way to the end. And Chriselle Gill looking a little tired there. She's just not aggressive enough to get her on the inside. But again, a great try.
Oh, no question. I thought for sure that she was going to get her. Look at how she's right up underneath her. She's making all the right moves, but like you said, she just doesn't have the strength to do it against the bigger girl.
She looks a little tired there. At that point in the track, it's real tough.
Okay, here we go. Dean, it's been great so far, and you've done some great interviews today, and this one is on some bicycles.
Right.
What it's all about.
Let's take a look at some of the safety gear that's on the bikes to make this a real safe sport. To the uneducated eye, the BMX freestyle bike may seem similar in appearance to the BMX racing bike, but in fact there are an awful lot of differences, aren't there, Bob?
Yes, Dean, there are. Freestyle bike runs a front and rear handbrake for better maneuverability. They run the safety pads all along for protection. Platforms, usually on the front fork and also sometimes near the rear axle. A nylon cast wheel for strength. Platforms on the rear, on the top of the frame, also on the rear back chainstay. And another unique feature on a lot of freestyle frames is the bend in the top tube, which enables the wheel to turn all the way around for different tricks without getting it caught.
Number 80, Morris.
Okay, and we'll be back with more action in just a moment. Okay, here we go. And Dean, these are my favorites. It's the 7 expert class, the little guys. Tell us about it, Dean.
Well, these kids are seasoned vets at 7 years old. They're expert riders, and you'll be very surprised at how well they get around this track. Now, on that far inside position is number 222, Eric Helma. Next to him, number 6, Jarrett Badham. Number 618 is Anthony Pilato. Number 1 is Nick Schultz. That's got to be my favorite in that center of the gate.
Okay, let's see what happens to Nick. The gate's down, and Nick doesn't seem to be faring too well. It looks like number 6 in that light blue uniform, and look at these guys
Yeah,
go.
that is number 6. Now watch Jarrett Badham on the outside.
Oh, they're going close.
He is a very strong rider, and Eric Helma's giving him a run for his money. Watch Helma on the outside there. He might get him.
I think this is going to be a race, Dean. Look at these little guys go.
And what a close battle for such a young age group. Now watch Helma. He may pull a pass here in this last corner. You never know.
I don't think he's going to make it.
No,
I don't think he's going to make it.
Looks like Badham has got the race in the bag.
What?
Nice race by both Jarrett and
Badham. What a race. What a race. Well, I'll tell you what, after something like that, we're going to take a look at the beginning, because these guys came out of the hill like mean machines. They were awesome.
Well, they are 7 experts. These kids have got a lot of racing under their belts. Now, as you can see, they get a good jump out of the gate, and the riders do the 2-pedal start. These are more experienced riders than those novice riders we've seen before, and you can see they're very much in control, and actually, there's quite a lot of dicing going on down that first straight.
There sure is. They're just justing back and forth, and it's impossible to believe that these kids are so strong at so young an age, but
Right.
they are.
Look at Badham. He just pulls away there into the first corner. Again, a great race. Very, very tough competition from Eric Helma.
Oh, boy, what a race. And now we're going to get to the 13-14 girls class. That's going to be coming up next. And that's going to be pretty interesting, because I understand these girls are extremely strong. Oh, we've got the treat that I wanted, Dean. This is what everybody's been waiting for. We're going to look at some freestyle tricks.
Probably the most basic trick in freestyle is the wheelie, and here's Bob to demonstrate it. You can see that what you do is pull up on the handlebars, continue pedaling, and you reach a certain balance point where the bike just seems to float right there. Just takes practice, and after a while you get that balance point down, and it seems real easy. Again, the pedaling and pulling up on those handlebars, very important to master that technique. Now Bob goes into a bunny hop. That's where you unweight your body, pulling up the bike, pulls up both wheels. It's quite a strength move. Takes some practice, and it takes a lot of strength in that upper body as well as the lower legs and calves. Okay, now Bob is going to go into a back hop. He's back on his back wheel. He pulls up on the bars, and he reaches that balance point as he did in the wheelie. And as you can see, he just hops there. He has the rear brake applied, and he can just bounce in that one position indefinitely. Now he goes into a front brake endo. Now, as you can see, he grabs the front brake that stops the bike, and he pushes the weight up and over the front handlebars. And you can see he can just balance there. He can pivot on the front wheel. Now, he can do that into a curb. He can do that into any other stationary object, and you can see he bounces. He can go back and forth. He has quite a lot of control there. Now, watch him. He'll do it into the tire this time. You see the weight up and over those handlebars. The front brake is completely applied, so the front end just completely stops. The weight goes up and over the bars, and the back end pops up off the ground, and he has great control there. Okay, now watch him from the side. You can see the weight, and he over the handlebars, he straightens out his arms. He has good control. The back end drops back down, and he just rolls out of that.
Okay, it's a 13-14-year-old girls class, and we have that young lady from England in this class, Dean, and I understand she's pretty good.
She is a great rider, and she came all the way from London, England. Number 3, Kelly Mulkerins, and next to her is number 1, Diana Bolins. I think it's going to be a race between those two girls. Let's run down the other riders. Number 111, Dina Corbett on the inside lane. Next to her, Kim Nibia. And on the outside of Diana is Joni White and
look at
Lee
these
Donovan.
girls go. Boy, you know, these girls are just as strong as the boys are sometimes. And sometimes the races are even just as tight, like I thought we were going to have in this one.
That's number 18, Lee Donovan. She's way out in front. She's got quite a commanding lead here. It's going to be difficult to catch her.
Well, look at that race for second, Dean. Look at that race for second, and they are going at it tooth and nail.
Right, and that race for second was just won by Joni White, who pulled away from number 520. That's Kim Nevia.
Oh, boy, that was a pretty sweet race. But you know what, Dean? We saw something earlier that was just unbelievable. Brian Skur and his groundwork. Freestyle at its best.
Yes, Brian Skur is quite a freestyle master, and I think you'll be amazed by some of the tricks that he performs on his bicycle.
World champion, 13-14-year-old girl, number 18 out of California, Lee Brown.
There it is. That's the Skura tuck, he calls it. He does a front flip over the front of the bike and pulls the bike back over him and remounts it. Phenomenal trick. Skura is a master of freestyle. Look at that. Actually flips his bicycle around in a 360 and keeps on going. The man is just incredible.
Unbelievable.
You can see he has foot pegs up there on the front forks, and that is a phenomenal trick. That is a Skura original. No one else can do that trick, and Brian, you can see, makes it look so easy.
He's making it dance.
Yeah.
He's actually dancing with that bicycle.
Yep, the freestyle ground routines are almost like break dancing on a BMX bike. They have the music going out of their big ghetto blasters, and it's a great sport.
Unbelievable. Oh, I don't believe that. That is the flip to end all flip.
That's that Skura tuck. Brian is quite a showman, and he loves performing in front of people, as you can see here.
Watch this, watch this. I love this. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rennie, little practice, you could do that, I'm sure.
Well, you know, I'm working on this bike that you gave me now, and I think I can do some freestyling on that.
Well, as soon as you get that bike figured out, let us know, and we'll get you out there and have you do a freestyle routine for us.
Look at that. Look at that. He is actually, like I said, dancing with the bicycle. Break dancing on wheels. You're right.
That's
you
it.
Called it.
Look at that balance. Is that incredible?
What a ham.
He is. He's a big ham. He's quite a showman.
Dancing on the back pedal. Watch this, Dean. I love this. I love this part.
Yeah, this is a new trick Brian just came up with. It's a pedal spin. He actually pivots the bike all the way around on the pedal, and you can see he makes it look all too easy.
Oh, he's going in for the kill now. He's setting us up for something great, I bet. Watch.
Yep, now you can see the freestyle bike is a very specialized bike. He's got different platforms around the bike that he can walk on and stand on and balance on for the various maneuvers he does during his routine. So a freestyle bike is quite specialized. Okay, now watch this. Here we go, the Skura tuck in slow-mo. Amazing. Brian Skura.
Take a bow, Brian. Take a bow.
What a ham.
Okay, Dean, this is your race, the 9 expert class. I know you got something to say about it.
Well, I sure do, Rennie. Earlier in the show, we saw the 9 and 10 open, and the rider that jumped to an immediate lead was Jason Donnell. What happened to him is he slipped his pedals over that first jump and went from first to last in a blink of an eye.
He's going to redeem himself.
He sure is. He's got a bone to pick. Watch him. He's in that number 7 slot, and there he goes. Another hole shot.
There he goes. Now this time, let's see if he falls off his bike again.
Well, he's falling into the second position there.
But he's coming.
He's going up high in the berm. He's going to throw a pass there.
Look at that kid go. He is out for revenge.
He simply outpowered Jake Carroll down that second straightaway and over that tricky step jump. Now watch Donnell go. He's just going to pull out his lead here, but no.
He's got company. He's got company, Dean. That
Jake Carroll is not going to be shaken here. He's on the inside. He's going to the finish.
Oh, no. Just about did it, boy. He powered all the way around. Okay, let's see what happened at the end of this, Dean, because I thought that little kid was going to get him. I thought for sure. It looked like it was going to be those nip and tuck type races.
Okay, now you can see in the last corner, Donnell starts to sweep out a little bit wide, and Jake Carroll does not need an invitation there. He's trying to sneak in the inside, but Donnell simply outpowers him to the finish, but a great effort on Carroll's part.
Didn't get to crash the party, did he?
Not quite.
Upcoming on the Dean, we've got the another young fella coming up.
That's right, Scott Freeman. He's 12 years old, and he is an amazing freestyler. You'll be amazed at how great a rider he is for only 12 years old.
Okay, here we go. We just saw an incredible 12-year-old before the break, and now here are the 12-year-old experts. Dean, okay, tell me who you're picking in this one.
Well, I got a couple favorites here. Number 65, J.D. Finney's looking real strong today.
I remember him.
And also Aaron Sally, number 4. Those have got to be two favorites, but I'll tell you what.
I'm betting on Sally.
190
I'm going on Sally.
is Derek Garcia, and he's going to be downright impossible to beat. Nope. He's fallen into second place there, but Sally has got an early lead. Now, wait a minute. Earlier we saw Derek Garcia catch Sally. Maybe we're going to have a replay here.
Okay, let's see what happens. Boy, that Sally is a strong rider.
He sure is, but watch Garcia. Garcia could easily make up these bike lengths, but Sally is riding a flawless race, and it's going to be downright impossible to beat him.
Look at that. Sally turned around as if to say, what? Are you kidding? You can't catch me. Amazing. Okay, it's the 13 expert class, and Dean, these guys have been known to be extremely exciting.
Yeah, they have. They're almost the perfect size for those 20-inch bikes, and it's a very, very competitive class, and we find the majority of the riders out here will probably fall between 12, 13, and 14 years old. Keep an eye on Robert McPherson, number 1, and Damian Burnell, number 9. Now, Burnell has come out to an early lead,
down up the hill.
and he is challenged by number 1. That's Robert McPherson. And watch McPherson and Burnell.
This looks like a race, Dean. This looks like
sure
a
is.
race.
Now, don't discount Burnell. He may be in second right now, but he could easily swoop on McPherson.
There was a kid in the plaid.
That's right. Look at Burnell.
Look at
Burnell swoops underneath him in that third berm, and McPherson takes the lead back. Great race here.
But they got company right behind them. Look at this. Oh, unbelievable.
That was...
Okay, we're going to see this one again because we had a surprising rider come up from third. Actually come from nowhere up to third into second. Okay, here it is. Off the gate. You got it, Dean.
Well, you can see that Damian Burnell gets a great start, and so does McPherson, and those guys aren't giving each other an inch. So they're both dicing into the first corner, and it's very, very tight racing. Okay, now you watch there. You can see that Burnell may have the maybe in second, but he definitely pulls a what they call a swoop move in this corner. Watch him. Keep an eye. Goes on the inside.
Right under him. Right under him.
Slingshots around, and he comes out of that corner. But again, both riders are right together going through those quads, and they're not giving each other an inch.
It's wheel to wheel, tire to tire, bicycle to bicycle, just going at it.
That's right, and McPherson comes out the winner.
And okay, we're back up on the line now, and
We had a chance to talk to some of the international riders that are here from the event, and I think they have some interesting things to say. I'm standing here with
Jane Windle.
Jane. How old are you?
18.
And how long have you been involved in BMX?
I've been involved from the start of BMX in England. I've been racing for about 5 years.
Now, is it true that you're here for the World Championship for the 5th time?
That's correct. I've been 5 times running. It's traditional now.
So what kind of rider is going to win out here today?
Probably somebody that's got a lot of power to get to this first turn first, because basically the track's easy. You get to the turn first and you pretty much got it made.
Would you consider this a better track for your cruiser than you would your 20-inch bike?
It's hard to say. Today, yeah. For me, it's been the cruiser I've been doing a little better on.
So if you had to say who's going to win Pro Cruiser, who would you say?
Well, definitely, I think I'm going to win it.
I'm standing here with...
Jolene Hook.
How old are you?
7.
You're 7, and you're from England?
Yes.
And how long have you been racing BMX?
Half a year. Half a year.
Half a year, huh? Now, are you pretty excited to be here?
Yes.
Did you do pretty well today so far?
Yes.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go with the 14 expert class. That was the prettiest little girl I've ever seen. Dean, tell me about this class.
Well, the 14X class has got a rider, Sean Callahan, that we saw earlier win the 13 and 14 cruiser. He's number 3. He's in position 3 on the gate, and he is going to be the rider to beat. There's no doubt he's on a hot streak. He put it together on his cruiser. Let's see if he can put it together on his 20-inch.
Let's see if one win begats another. I think that's the name of the game. Okay, they're down the hill. Dean, you call it now.
Great start by rider in the Patterson colors on the outside. We don't have a number on him yet. It's number 2. That looks like David Bentley.
Oh, he's doing good. Callahan got bumped 2 or 3 times.
Okay, now that's Dan Milwee behind the Patterson rider, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch him, but let's watch that last corner. Things can change.
I don't think he's going to get him, but he sure is trying hard.
No, but Bentley rides away with it, and a great ride also by Dan Milwee in second.
The new world champion in the 14 expert class. Okay, you know, Dean, the aerial BMX is interesting, but you've got to look at what it takes to get started on the ramp. So I thought was interesting, and let's go back and look at what happens when a kid is just getting to start out on the ramps.
Okay, one of the more difficult ramp tricks in freestyle is the drop-in. As you can see, Bob has his bike in the wheelie position. He's got one foot planted on the top of the ramp, and he's got his rear brake applied, so the bike's not going anywhere. What he'll do is he'll push off, and the bike will drop in onto the ramp. Very smooth. Here, Bob starts out with one of freestyle ramp's easiest tricks. It's called a rollback. What he does is drives up on the ramp, and he rolls back. It takes quite a lot of balance to get used to riding that bike backwards, but as you can see, Bob's got it mastered now. You just keep going up higher and higher, and finally you'll be ready to actually do some maneuvers on there. But you do need to get some speed going up the ramp in order to do an actual trick. So as you can see, Bob's getting some good speed here. He comes up the ramp, and he does a kick turn. Now what you do is you go up, you pivot on the rear wheel, pull up on the bars, and the bike spins around and heads back in the opposite direction.
Okay, this is an interesting class. It's the 15 expert class, but we've seen guys go straight from 15 to pros. Dean, what do you think about this one?
Well, just like the 16 to the 17-year-old experts, these guys are all aspiring pros, and it's going to be a very, very competitive race. Keep an eye on number 1B on the inside of the gate, Darwin Griffin. Now watch, Griffin has got an early lead, and he pulls what is called the hole shot, and he is gone.
Oh, Darwin is a kid to beat. He wants to make that trophy dash for the World Championship.
That's right. Now number 8 is Jim Mackey. Now watch Mackey.
There.
Mackey goes into a bit of a brake slide. He almost had Griffin there. Now he's on Griffin like a shadow. Keep an eye on Griffin, though. He's not going to give up an inch to.
Griffin almost won the World Championship last year, and he missed by a bike length. Oh, he's got it this time. He is our 15 expert world champion. But it was close, and let's see what the end of this thing looked like, because they were real close to each other, and I thought that maybe Griffin might blow it again like he did last year. Okay, we're coming up on it. Here it goes, Dean.
Okay, now that's Jim Mackey, the Mack attack, and he is going to attack here through the quads, but he just cannot seem to put it together. Griffin's riding strong, he's riding smooth, and Griffin's protecting his lead there, and he's on the inside of the corner, leaves no room for the Mack attack to sneak by him, and Griffin, it was his race all the way.
Oh, my goodness. Griffin said history will not repeat itself again because he came real close last year, and I think he's going to have a good shot at this time. Look at him. He is pumping with all he's got. No one's going to beat me, he says. What a race. But you know what, Dean? I am so excited about this section of the show. This is unbelievable.
Well, you should be excited. It's Jeff Carroll. He's showing us some advanced ramp tricks, and you will be amazed how high these kids fly.
Okay, here we are on the track now with the 16 advance. Boy, you believe those guys? Unreal. Dean.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. They look like an airplane up there in the sky. 16 advanced class on the line. Dean, tell us what we've got there.
Well, we've got 16 experts, essentially. Number 15 is Eric Batty. Keep an eye on him. Number 56, Dave Andreessen. 57 is Troy Thomas Lupo. 44, Scott Evans. 37, Scott Mitchell. 64, Brian Gibbs. And 31,
And they
Tom
are down.
Clark.
And it's 44 in the red shirt.
No, it looks like 57 snakes on the inside. That's Troy Thomas.
Look at these
Luke
guys.
Cho.
Wait a minute, the lead changed? No, second place changed again.
Okay, to keep an eye on Luke Cho, though. He seems to have a lead pipe cinch on this lead, but you never know. A great race for second, third, and fourth.
This is the kind of, oh, second place rider goes down. Too bad. And now it is a lead pipe cinch, as you call it. It's his. He's got a Hutch jersey on, and he's going to cross the line first.
That's right. Luke Cho wins it, followed by Scott Mitchell in second.
Okay, we're going to take another look at this and see exactly what happened, because I thought for sure that this was going to be a little bit closer of a race than it was. Okay, here they go. Down the line. Dean, what do you think here?
Well, you could see Luke Cho and Mitchell were having at it there right at the beginning of the race, and it continued all the way around the course. But Luke Cho looked to be a bit like physically a larger, a stronger rider than Mitchell. But Mitchell stuck with him all the way through the course and all the way to the finish.
There's that first turn that they all talk about.
Very
It's amazing.
dicey, very dicey through there. A lot of races are won, a lot of races are lost in that tricky first corner.
This step jump that they're coming to, they don't have quite the finesse of some of the other, let's say, expert riders do, and you can tell the way they take it. They seem to be just a little shaky coming over that step jump. Okay, here we are with the 16 expert class, and the winner of this race goes to the World Championship Trophy Dash. Dean, this is going to be a hot one.
This is going to be some race right now. I want you to keep your eye on the 4 outside gate positions. That's number 8, Brian Gass on the far outside. Number 1 next to him, Glenn Hammond. And next to him, number 5, Todd Henry of Mongoose. And next to Todd is his teammate, Billy Griggs. Now, Billy's been having a great day. Let's keep an eye on Billy Griggs in the center of that gate. Number 3.
Okay, and they're off, and they're down the hill, and they are moving. Look at that rider in the middle. Dean, who is that?
Well, that is Brian Gass out in front now. I can't identify the rider. It looks like number 16. That's Jeff Donnell in second. Now watch Griggs on the inside of him.
What a move.
That's
what
right.
a move.
Griggs pushes him out. Now Brian Gass and Billy Griggs are the best of friends, but when they're out here on the racetrack,
There's no more friendship in this
and
one.
it goes. Now
Look at this race.
Keep an eye on Griggs. He might slip inside.
They're going for the World Championship Trophy. Oh, what a close race. My goodness.
That was great.
good.
Brian Gass kept the power on all the way to the finish line. Griggs gave it his best effort, but it was squeezed off there on the line. Didn't quite make a great race for those two.
Let's see that one again. That was that was something else. I really enjoyed that one. These guys are going for the trophy dash, and look at them go.
Okay, now Jeff Donnell got a real good start there. He's number 16, and also Brian Gass and Billy Griggs both got good starts. Now Griggs hit the gate a little bit early, so he was bogged a bit, but he did come back, as you could tell by his second place finish.
He came back strong.
You betcha, but Brian Gass had command of the race from the start. And as you can see, Gass had no problem gassing it all the way to the finish and dusting off the pack.
Yeah, but watch this second place rider. Watch the way he comes up underneath him. I think this is the mark.
Okay, now watch Griggs here in the corner. He's going to slip right inside him, kind of gives him a little bit of an elbow and lets him know he's there, kind of pushes him out to the outside. And
Friendly
Griggs
nudge, right?
Yeah, friendly nudge, and
Okay.
just sneaks right underneath there. It's not a dirty riding technique at all. It's just you just lean on the guy. BMX is a physical sport, and you'll see some leaning occasionally in the corners. But look at Griggs, so smooth through those quads. It's amazing, and that's where he really gained on Gas. But again, Gas seemed to be riding free and easy, and goes over that second to last jump. And
this is where I thought Griggs was going to get him, though.
Right,
this is where I thought he was going to get him.
Griggs made a super effort here over that finish jump. Went to the inside, but you can see Gas is kind of squeezing him over there to the outside. Great race by those two. Randy, we've seen some incredible BMX today, but how you doing there with that folding bike?
Not too good, Dean. I know this is supposed to open, supposed to unfurl, I'm supposed to get on it, and I'm supposed to ride it out of here. Dean, I'm having a problem.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We are ready to go now. We're on the line right now for the World Championship Trophy Dash. And let's see, from the 16 expert class, Dean, we've got Brian Gass. From the 15 expert class, we got Darwin Griffin. From the 14 expert class, we got David Bentley. 13 expert class, Robert McPherson, Mark Perez, who's 17 and over, Todd Henry, and Rick Palmer. And Dean, I'm going to let you take a look at that.
Well, Rennie, I'll tell you, this is a real tough choice on my part to pick a winner. As far as gate positions go, Todd Henry on the inside there is looking pretty good. And then Rick Palmer has got to be probably the strongest rider out there. He's next to Todd. And so I would watch the inside of that gate. And Robert McPherson, number 1, is next to them. So I would be going with probably the riders on the inside.
Well, I'll tell you, I can remember last year's Trophy Dash World Championship, and if I'm not mistaken, Todd Henry, as a matter of fact, Todd Henry was right there in the run, and he almost got it. Now let's see what he's going to do this year, because history might repeat itself again, or he might make amends.
Right. Now, Rennie, don't discount Brian Gass on the outside. He started in that outside position before today. He could get a good snap out of the gate and be gone.
Okay, they're off, and they're down the line, and they are, oh! It's 3 abreast.
That is Palmer, followed by Bentley. They're teammates, but look at Griffin on the outside.
And
he falls into second.
And oh, look at this. Look at this. This is going to be a race.
Griffin makes a great move on the inside, but goes
he went down. What a... Too bad. Palmer's out there all by himself now, and the race is over. For all intents and purposes, Palmer is just going to walk away with it. History repeats itself again. Last year, the poor kid did almost the same identical thing. Let's look at it again, because we saw this happen last year. The almost exact same thing, Dean.
That's right. Now, you can see that Griffin gets a great start, but Rick Palmer, who's the largest and strongest rider out of the pack, he really kind of takes control there. And David Bentley also got an excellent start, and they're both teammates. Now, watch them through the first corner.
It's almost 4 abreast going through that first turn.
Right, and you can see that Palmer slips underneath McPherson there, and it pulls into the lead. But you see that Griffin slips by on the outside coming out of that first berm.
He made a great move, just an incredible move.
That was, and now watch, over this step jump, Griffin is going to set up Palmer, and he knows he can make this move on the inside. Now watch, over the step jump, Griffin's on the outside, he's swinging in the inside, he goes into a bit of a brake slide, you see, squares off the corner, and he's just starting to sneak underneath Palmer when disaster strikes. And Griffin's a gambling man, and this is Las Vegas, but it did not pay off, and he goes down, and Palmer gets a chance to pull away from the pack there. They had problems getting around Griffin, and he builds up quite a lead coming over those quads and heading down toward that finish line straight.
What a race. You could tell that those two guys were going to be going wire to wire until that unfortunate accident happened. And Palmer, like you said, is so much stronger than the rest of the pack. When Griffin ran into him, it was like running into a brick wall.
Yeah, but again, great move, great effort on Griffin's part, but it just did not pay off this time in Las Vegas. Okay, I'm here with Rick Palmer, and Rick, you had quite a day of racing. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, first I started off by winning the 17 to 21 cruiser class. It was pretty tough, but not really a lot of factory riders here. Then after that, I won the open class. I was in second all the way to the last corner, second to last corner. Well, some guy left the open space on the inside, and I took it, and I won that class. The last one, probably the hardest or the most prestigious, was a 17 expert class, so I won from start to finish. Really made me happy.
Now, tell us a little bit about that trophy dash and that last-ditch pass effort by Darwin Griffin.
I was a little nervous in the trophy dash. I don't want, a younger rider to beat me or anything. Dave Bentley, another rider on Patterson, got out of the gate good, and I passed him down the first straightaway. And going that second last corner, Darwin came on the inside of me, gave me a little bump. I bumped him back, and he had a good try, but I wasn't about to give it the World Championship.
Well, that's great, Rick, and congratulations on your World Championship win.
Well, you've heard about heavy metal. This is heavy metal. Look at all the metal here that these youngsters have won. Every year we have the World Championship, but every year we never get an opportunity to talk to the bicycle shop team that wins the World Championship. From Tempe, Arizona, we have the Bartley's bicycle team, and these kids have walked away with the World Championship. How about when I hand you the mic, you tell me your name and how old you are?
Billy Ramsey, 13.
Mike Rockwood, 11.
Tiffany Kellner, 11. J.D. Finney, 12. Mike Champlin, 7. John Reyna, 8.
Okay, and I understand they've created their own song. So if you're ready, on 3, I want to hear this championship team song. You ready? 1, 2, 3.
Bartley's is our name and racing is our game. We got winning on our mind right to the finish line. Over here, over there, we can win anywhere. But we're here to have fun and we're still number 1. That's why Bartley's is our name and racing is our game. Woo!
Hey, how about that, huh? The World Championship bicycle team. Congratulations, guys.
What do you think of that Bartley's team, huh? Great racers and probably even better singers. We've seen some really fantastic racing today, some amazing freestyle, and Rennie, how's that bike coming along?
I'm not sure, Dean. You know what? I know that something is supposed to happen so I can get on it and ride it, but right at the moment, I can't tell whether I'm coming or going with this thing, and...
Rennie.
Huh?
Here, let me show you.
Oh, get out of here. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You mean that... Dean, come back here, please. We got to close the show. I got to tell you, you're right. The Bartley's team were fantastic. Palmer was fantastic. The racing was incredible. This year's World Championship turned out to be one of the greatest we've ever had. The racing was unbelievable. Dean, tell me, before you ride off with my bicycle, what do you think? How do you really feel about the 7th World Championship?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think the weather could have been better, and again, we got to commend the USBA for just fantastic track conditions and some great competitors out here today from all around the world, and you couldn't beat it.
You know the thing that got me? I'll tell you, watching that freestyle. I was thinking about Skura going on, taking that bike and just flipping up in the air. That was unbelievable. I never thought I'd see anybody do what he did with a bicycle. I was looking at him and I thought, here's a guy, he's what, about 6'1", 6'2". He's not what you call a little tiny guy, and yet he takes that bike and plays with it just like it's a little toy or something.
Yeah, Skura is probably one of the best ground freestylers in the world today, and we saw that Skura tuck, which is his move and his move only. I don't think there's too many people that would attempt that on a bicycle.
And how about Scotty, 12 years old? Here's a kid that's been doing freestyle since, about 7 or 8 months, and already he's got the bike where he can sit it down on the ground, turn it around in circles, and that one move that he did was unbelievable. The racing was fantastic. I think this has got to be one of the most incredible World Championships we've ever had, no question.
I'd have to agree.
Well, for Dean and myself, I got to say, it's been a gas.
That goes double for me. Thank you, and goodbye.
Oh, wait. It's my bike. Remember? I ride.
Here. Be careful, Rennie.
Okay.